That's a touchdown.
Hi, and welcome to DD Live. Your host, the one and only, and wide receiver one for the Raiders. No offense to my other teammates.
I reffed one of your games. I can vouch for it.
I love me up top. I love me up top too. And I'm joined here by the one and only, the love of my life, Jose the Perra Guerra. How you feeling, man?
What up, peace? What up? Hey, man, I'm going through it. Long day, long week one. Let's see if we can, make.
No. Listen. I'm happy. That I think week one for the Raiders, we'll get to that, was a fluke. I think we played extremely good teams. I don't think that we're gonna have a schedule that tough the remainder of the season until we repeat those teams. But we'll get to that. We'll get to talking to those teams. There's a lot to chit chat about. A lot of performances that left us questioning some teams, some draft stock. A lot of notable players were missing. We're expecting more players to be missing in week two, so we got some news there for you on that front. We're going to analyze a little bit about Roger Tomas and how he's filling in for the commish. I feel that we're creating a monster. We're creating a monster.
Is that being repeated for week two?
Hey, listen, I don't know what's worse, the heat off the Tropical Park AstroTurf or Roger, not Goodell Tomas, being the commissioner.
It was pretty tough. It was rough. It was rough.
Remember,
on multiple fronts.
We're DD vets, and we don't speculate about the park because the park gets announced the day before.
Yeah,
we don't want Andres to start blowing me up, in the middle of DD Live, texting me. Not that he's watching live, but somehow you'll know and throw an insult.
Yeah.
Message. But all right, let's without further ado, I would like to remind you guys that we are a two-time show winner. I want to thank upper management for giving this kid his Make-A-Wish dream come true and actually getting my hardware. So we added season 14 best
Looks
show.
Nice. Looks nice.
Dino Times. We're two-time show winner, 6-time most probably runner-ups, most probably the 7th time this season. But hey, not everybody could say that their show has 2-star winners and it's a 2-time show winner.
Nope.
So it's a lot of ups for us.
And it's not being carried by one person.
Absolutely not. And we've lost and rotated the third guy, and the recipe is here. The recipe for success is here. So let's get into week one. What jumped out at you the most? And we're not going to go for the low-hanging fruit. We're not going to go for 3-0. We'll get to that. What team jumped out at you?
I mean, I like the Saints going into it, so them being 3-0 wasn't like, oh my god. I wasn't really like crazy in terms of like following up with the schedule of everybody and taking a look around and stuff. Like I had enough to deal with, in Jets camp. So I know we did it. I know you said not to go for the low hanging fruit, but man, the Redskins, like what, or the Commanders, like what happened there, man? Like that was tough to watch. I reffed one of their games. I reffed their game against you guys.
I can't remember what happened.
I think you scored two touchdowns. You scored.
This is the key.
You scored. I think the first drive you scored on Chris Martinez.
No, it was Andres.
Andres?
Listen, it was on Andres. The first one was Andres. They put me out wide against him. I saw that. I looked at Al and I said, he said I'm a massive reach. That's all I had to say. That's what I love about Al.
But you scored on Chris Martinez, no?
Yeah, I scored Chris Martinez at the end of the game.
The second one. Okay, yeah. But just looking at the standings, like you said, a lot of players missing, which is obviously very unfortunate. It's really hard to get a clear picture on what teams really are or, what they're going to be. But just looking at this really quick, looking it over, I would say a big surprise record-wise is the Ravens. I wasn't very high on them in terms of, I've been obviously very vocal about Adrian, who's a monster. He's a stud. Uh, I'm just not sold, I guess you would say, on him being a number one on either side of the ball. Something clicked there. Obviously, they went 2-1. I know one of their wins was a forfeit or a paper forfeit. But man, 2-1. Anytime you go 2-1 is impressive in DD. That goes to speak volumes of the teams that did go 3-0. But I would say that has to be the biggest surprise to me, man. The Washington team.
But let's talk about there. Let's talk about the Ravens and let's talk about the Redskins. All right, so let's going back. I love Chris Martinez. I love the Martinez brothers. I know that I dogged them in the DD chat. But to his defense, what happened on that touchdown was no different than what happened to Al. And if you want to, we can most probably like throw in that film in here on the last against Marzullo and the Saints. It's the case of trying to do too much.
Too much.
And I saw that.
You got caught ball watching.
He set Nick Alvarez to go rush Al, which okay, I would have not done that because you still got Marley and you still got Vic out there. So then what ends up happening, you as the cap, you're going to start cheating to whoever. I literally ran one way jogging it and then booked it and I was naked.
Yeah.
Naked. And it wasn't an indictment on Chris. It's just that he oversold one side, se confió, and I just went to the other one. It was a vet move, but the same thing happened to Al against the Saints. Marzullo bombed the crap out of Al. And why? Because Al on the other side trying to do too much, gave too much space on the back end, and then he got bombed for a touchdown. Now, the reason, so I just wanted to clear that up. It wasn't, I mossed Andres. That, I mossed him. I didn't moss Chris. I was just wide open. He didn't respect me. So that's why I threw it against the chair because it was like, defend me, mother. But yeah, that being said, what did he lose? His brother.
But I would say, man, that team is nice.
It's a nice team. I just think that he just mismanaged that team in week one. He has to go back down, rethink it. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's looked at the film and he's a competitor. He's most probably pissed off and he's going to come out week two a lot different. I'm not too low on them because it's like a team that you look at like too many good players to not get it right. And
yeah, no, for sure. They have a good team, man. They have a good team. I do want to say this.
I wouldn't blow up. I would. Those are one of those teams that
no, you can't. You can't. I mean, you can't after week one. Anytime you go 5 hard is always going to be difficult. Going 5 hard with your best 5 players, it's not as difficult. But man, the easy scapegoat could be Mikey here, but I wouldn't even put it on him because I'm looking at this. Man, they scored 4 points in 3 games.
And one of those was like we're all looking at Mikey like puke, and they just quickly threw it to Kurt. Like just walked in for a touchdown.
So like it's like man, like that can't be. That's not Mikey because Mikey on offense is your third guy. So I think it's tough. That was tough to see.
It's a chemistry thing. They didn't practice, and you could see, and it showed. Chris got frustrated. He plays a certain way. He's used to his brother. And he's picking his guys. This is a very different team than what he's used to playing with. I know he's played with Kurt in the past, but that's what happens.
He's a different animal.
You get dumbed down.
Yeah.
You get dumbed down, and then as a cap, you got to excel. Now, the Ravens 2-1. Johan is a great quarterback. We know he's a great DD quarterback, and then now he has Adrian, and that is the X factor because he's a do-it-all. And he does it all exceptionally well. Maybe not elite, but he runs fast, he cuts fast, makes you miss flags, he gets the flags, and he makes the catch. And
he has a team of his guys.
And what more do you want? What more do you want? So I would say that. I would say I would say the Ravens positive is Chris Martinez demise, which is his brother Adrian.
Yeah.
Team that. So explain to me a little bit about the Jets. I know that you were missing Mark. Is Mark that important?
I mean, shoot, man. He was the 3rd pick in the draft, so I don't know. You tell me,
How did the game go? Because I don't know. Every time that I saw Petey was going for a bomb, scoring on somebody, I saw Mike making big catches. Like, what happened there?
Yeah, man. It wasn't it was a good week, for us without Mark. Obviously, defensively, we're definitely going to struggle without Mark. Just mix matching, trying to play matchups. It was always going to be difficult. I mean, offensively, I felt like we played very, very well. Well, we played well. First game we had a chance at the Corona rule to at least get a point out of week one. We had a pick. We threw a pick at the end of the game on first and goal. That was a little tough, right? Because we felt like we weren't like for them, they were scoring on 1-2 plays, but we were driving the field, which is exhausting, right? But
Which again,
it builds confidence.
Tropical Park is a bigger park.
Yeah.
That is
So the 50 yards is legit 50 yards.
That your traditional like it's not your traditional field. It's a little bigger. Like so it's like it's and it's DD and then it's hot. Brother, I was bleeding out of my knees.
And that's why I anticipated. Week one, game one, it turned out that obviously the Eagles were going 5 hard as well, and they were missing obviously a very pivotal part of their team as well, which didn't turn out to be pivotal when he did show up because they lost the only game with him. But neither here nor there. I just think we gave it our all in that first game, and it was pretty disappointing to not come away with at least a point. So I think maybe that trickled down, at least for the rest of it. But I felt good about the offense. We moved the ball, we scored, pretty consistently, and we're moving the ball. So we know that once we get Mark back, it'll be a complete different ball game now. So
how the hell did Joan get Eddie Leva?
Man, he was missing.
How do all of you like? I don't. How do you like? He keeps getting away with it. Like why? Like he can't. Like why?
Let me look at it.
Brother,
because
that guy just caught another dart on us and took it 30 yards. Like it's incredible. No, he found the steal of the draft. I really feel like Eddie Leva is that guy. I'm not going to trust him with a 10, 15 yard in, but everything underneath, he's a mismatch.
And he's the problem.
Joan gets Louis Ituri and Eddie Leva, and David's best player is Brian, and his worst player is Trujillo. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, David pre-draft, I don't know what the hell he was doing.
You guys suck at management. Suck. Joan's gonna go for an MVP season. I'm saying it right now.
Oh, I'm telling you, like everybody's gonna have
to chase him, and the guy's talking crap. The last play of the game against us, you changed the defense. I changed the offense. The guy was feeling himself like this is Sparta type, beating his chest. And
I would,
and that's vintage Louis Ituri. Like we don't got half-hearted Louis Ituri, getting married Louis Ituri, going on honeymoon Louis Ituri, planning for a wedding Louis Ituri. We got put nuts on heads Louis Ituri out there.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, and that this I don't want to say is a slight towards anybody else, but I would say starting at like pick 57, 58. Kevin G and I would say 58. Andres Del Rio. From there to 64, all those Cavs dropped the ball and not picking Eddie. I'm surprised. Nico, I know he was going to draft his boy. That's fine. I'm surprised that Piggy didn't do his homework. David didn't do his homework. Chris.
David's the guy who in other season has gotten like boo, for example. Like getting that
at huge discounts.
And it's just like, did we not care? Were we so upset about the rules? It's like
so
they get to Joan's hand. Like I'm telling you.
I said he's missing this week, so I'm sure that maybe helped him drop a little bit. But I mean, think about
but he declared. So it's not like they're gonna get the tier 6 penalty.
Yeah, and I don't know if that applies for them anyways, because they have two tier 6s.
Oh.
So, but irrelevant, man. That's a great pick at the top of tier 5 with the first pick in tier 5.
I love that. That was one of the names that jumped out at me. The next thing I want to bring out, and you brought up his name. We always have to talk about him. Friend of the show, Beaky. After the first game, when that guy beat David, he was screaming at the top of his lungs. It is
the usual.
No. But this is different. This is another level. Like there was pain. There was pain in there. The man he went off, it's a privilege to play with me, or it's an honor to catch a passer. It was something like the guy was feeling himself. Obliterated David with arguably, because everyone had Piggy like dead last, like that he should not win. Like it's a team of misfits. No disrespect to the Bengals. I love every single one of you guys. But that is the common thought of the Bengals. Guy goes in first game, beats David. Second game, then it's mental warfare between Stritz, Crego, and Peaky. Like mental warfare. I felt bad. Al was not in the headspace like
to deal with that.
To deal with that. Oh, bro, like I lost it. Like Crego was like, listen, and I'm gonna say it again. Unless there's an actual rule that says if your shirt is untucked and we have to stop or call the penalty or stop the play and enforce it and this and that, Ham never, ever, ever touch his shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the warning. You grab this shirt. I don't call it. And then he'll tuck it in. That's the way that it works.
Always. That's how I mean,
that's the way that it works.
I've always had captains tell me, hey, let him know about the shirt.
Hey, fire, gas. Bobby, tuck in your shirt. That's it. That's what you're going to get. I'm not going to stop. You want to bail out because this guy broke 4 people to score a touchdown? No, play football. Play football. Ham had no involvement on the play, and it was little ticky-tack things like that. There was just everything was just, and then, so that is a loss. Stritz wins that one, which it was the Dalek show. Daleks, I don't think, did nothing on offense. Had like 2-3 INTs, pick 6, the works. Then goes in third game, and that game doesn't want to end. It's like 4 hours and ends in a tie.
Yeah, 2-2.
So he's 1-1-1. Piggy gave us the best of everything. Like it's like like when you go to Publix and you get the ice cream with all the flavors, like the chocolate, vanilla,
the Neapolitan.
The Neapolitan. He gave us the Neapolitan. He gave us the dub where he dunked on David and talked the house of crap. Then he gave us the fighting the referees game and losing the game, and then gave us the 4-hour game and the tie. What do we make of the Bengals?
I'm still not a fan, man. I'm still not a fan. I'm a fan of each of those players individually. Collectively, just I'm not a fan.
I love Lugo. I love Lugo.
I love Lugo ever since I wanted to trade for him. Like what was that, 2-3 seasons ago? Like after week 2, the moment I had the value, and Ernie can attest to this. I've been saying, I'm like, hey man, that guy, he can do things. He can do things. So I've been super high on Lugo. Manu, I freaking love Manu. Phillips a stud. Ham, say whatever you want about the guy. Bad teammate to some, annoying to others.
Never had a bad experience with him.
I mean, neither have I. I've never been his teammate, but I've never had anything towards Ham. But man, he makes plays. Is he like, oh, he's a stud or he looks good? Do it? No, but he's always there, And Peaky is Peaky, but I don't know, man. I'm still not a fan. Not collectively. Not collectively.
What about the Cowboys? Dario.
It's tough to speak on a lot of teams. I'm gonna be honest. I truly did not watch anybody unless I was refereeing them.
Lost 4-2 to the Dolphins and David. Lost 4-0 to the Chargers. And won against the Seahawks. 4-2.
Yeah, I heard the screaming of that.
Yeah, he beat his boy Daleks and then lost everything. I know that AJ hurt his knee and that he was hurting.
And I know they were missing Peppers. But that roster, top to bottom, is disgusting.
I know. They're going to get better with Peppers. They're only get better with Peppers.
But I don't think you should ever. They should have never. You should with that roster.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
And Dario, not the 1 and 2 part with that roster, and Dario being as mobile as he is, and a good quarterback as he is.
I'm personally upset because we put him on the intro of DD Live and then he drops a 1 and 2 bomb on the.
And he didn't score one game. Like, nah, man. I'm sorry, but as a quarterback with that roster and you being the worst athlete, and he's still a pretty damn good athlete for DD standards, he should not go a single game or scoring 0 because it's not like me that you can send your tier 6 or your slower tier 5.
I look at 4-0 against the Chargers and I think that was a DQ. how are you gonna tell me the Chargers scored 4 times and you couldn't muster a touchdown by mistake, like sin querer queriendo? That's
I
tough.
would.
That's tough
I
to
would.
swallow.
I mean, they have stats. Dario has went 3 for 6.
Now the Giants, I don't even want to talk about them because they weren't complete. And
Yeah.
we
No,
knew going in that that was not the ideal roster setup.
which is unfortunate because I feel like it's gonna happen again week 2. So you you are going to have some teams that freak out after week 2 and make maybe ill-advised trades, and I know we'll get there, but I just feel like the season really, really won't start until week 3. Yeah, sure. Obviously, a team always led by John and Lewis as your number one is always going to be in contention, right? You have they have the track record and to show to
Yeah, but
speak.
I don't think there's anybody else that has identified themselves outside of maybe the Saints that could be able to put a run like what the Chiefs are built to do.
But look, Ernie missing a week, Jeremy, for whatever it is, prone to always get hurt in the season. And Devin, for as good as Devin looks sometimes, he also looks just as bad other times. So at least in my conference, I don't think we have identified a true number one. I think definitely right now it's definitely the Chiefs with Johan and Lewis at the top.
Now the one team that, and it's the reigning MVP, que me llama la atención is the Vikings and Poti, because I couldn't help but look at their games. And like, for example, the 3-2 that they lost to the Saints, they should have won that 4-3. There were so many drop touchdowns by that team. There's at least like 2 or 3 bombs that Poti put on the money. They lost to that Saints team because of drop passes and drop touchdowns. That was their first game. Then the Redskins, the Commanders, who are struggling, you only beat them 2-1. And then against the Bengals, you go 2-2. Like, they look too good, and they have such a mismatch at the end of the bottom. They're tier 5, their last player. It's
Javi and Jose.
Those guys, bro, they play red zone. They know what they're doing.
Well, they were missing George too, I think. So they were 5 hard.
They had Peanut.
Yeah, man, but yeah, didn't you're going 5 hard.
I don't know. I felt like they had good enough players, man.
They went 5 hard.
Again, not enough to see, like, but that's a team that I wanted to see 2-1 from them.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted. Not 1.
From what I saw, it was just a lot of bailouts by Jason. That's for what I saw. Like maybe the few plays that I saw.
I like that team, man.
I
like Boldy because he could extend plays and in DD, you know how big that is. A quarterback who could extend plays makes things happen in DD.
Yeah. I would say this same kind of thing with from the Bengals. I like those players individually. Collectively, I like it a little more than I do the Bengals. But then it's the great equalizer of Tiki versus Poti. So to me, they kind of fall in the same kind of gap, kind of range middle of the pack team at best.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of best players, who we talked about Eddie Leyva. We talked about Jason?
Eddie balled out. I think he beat the Giants single-handedly. I think with like 5-6 sacks. Obviously, Johan put in the
like 5 sacks in 4 plays. That's what it felt like.
Johan with the stat that he put up. Lewis and Enzo obviously doing what they were gonna do. Missing Kevin.
Yeah. So forget the Chiefs. Just everybody on the Chiefs were amazing.
But that's the problem. No one really stood out. I would say, because that's what I'm trying to get at. Like the Chargers went 3-0, but not a single player, not a single person on that team stands out. And I get it. That's in theory what you want. You want a well-rounded team. Spreading the wealth, this and that, but I don't know, man. I didn't
like you can't. So it's all the Chiefs are the good players. Everyone else is just in a black.
We gotta see, because again, I played the Chargers.
Too close to call.
There's a which is always good, and that's the beauty of DD, man. There's always a lot of parity. And it won't be until like week 4 where you see, real 2 or 3 teams to maybe emerge and really, separate themselves.
What do you think about Vinny? Chargers are 3-0.
And you can't take that away from them. And you just cannot. But
Oh, this man's looking at stats.
I mean, no,
When the man's looking at
I'm
his
trying to.
research, when the man is looking at his research, we know he's about to drop some bars.
I'm really trying to take a look here. You know,
I saw a beautiful. I saw a team effort. I saw pick sixes to close games.
they beat the Cowboys 4-0. And from the looks of it, Dario had stats. So either they forfeited or they just whatever. But Dario had stats. They threw 3 picks that game. Against us, they beat us 4-1. You know, but we made a little bit of a push. I know it's crazy to say 4-1. How the hell are you making a push? But Peter will tell you we almost got to stop that. It could have at least put the game a little bit closer, you know. But then you beat the 49ers 2-1.
And that's a team that's in disarray. I looked at that camp. I
So
saw Montano, and I know he's used to playing with Corona and like getting his way. And he was looking at Derek, and like they were like looking at each other, like.
so you know, they did what they were supposed to. You beat who's in front of you, and they did so at least against me and the Cowboys convincingly. So they got to get their flowers for that. But I wouldn't say they separated themselves. You know, I would probably argue that at the end of the day, I would definitely take the Saints over them in our division as a right after week 1, and that's just super crazy to say after week 1 I'm taking somebody else other than myself. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but you want to. I feel that team. See, the Chargers are a well-rounded team, and they have players that are good enough to be able to beat out a one-on-one competition at every tier.
And they have value. So that's one team
that depends. Okay, so then that's where the DD game comes in, because if someone gets too greedy and wants more of the pie, then that's where you could like blow up a team.
Yeah.
So it leads us to the next question. What teams are on the brink of a massive fire sale? What are the names being? I'm not in the chat. I can't say anything. I'm not a cat.
I mean, the obvious team is obviously the Eagles. You know, they're missing 2 guys and being their quarterback and captain. So obviously that's going to be massive this week. So I know, and Lewis has been shipped, has been traded, but trade hasn't been finalized, and vice versa. I know Lewis, because of that, is obviously trying to get rid of Nico. And Nico has a lot of value, but who can really say I'm going to take on a quarterback that's missing and their boy who's also missing? So who's going to trade for somebody and say, hey, I'll go 4 hard this week? It has to be a 3-0 team, and the Chiefs aren't doing that.
Yeah,
the Chargers, I don't see them doing that. And the Saints
I've never seen Joan hand off the ball in DD.
So, you know, I that's not going to happen.
Not after calling out Hoosh and everyone and their mother. Like, there's no shot at all. This man is ever. I am not going to allow Joan to hand off a ball at all in DD. I'm going to be on him. I'm going to blow that thing up on DD Live. So not here. For that slander.
Yeah, I mean, I would say them. I know there's been rumblings around the Redskins. But I mean, other than that, there hasn't been a lot of talks, at least to the public.
From the outside looking in, and I know the players. I've been in the DPA. I've been as a cap. I know. I'm worried about Alex Montano, because I know that guy is making calls left and right, and I know that Derek knows that man is making calls left and right. So I feel 49ers are going to be one of those teams that are going to make a move.
I do. I believe they're going to be full this week. So I don't know their schedule, but I would imagine 1-2 or 1-1-1, and Montano's definitely on the block, and vice versa. I'm sure Derek will be on the block.
Not sure. You get a haul for that monster, Alex. You get a haul for that monster.
But I mean, hey, we'll see. I'm not.
Niners a team that strike me in terms of value and trade. I can see how the Eagles try to rip each other apart. The Giants just don't have value.
They do, but
not this week, not next week. Like more has to play out.
You have to build them up.
Exactly. And then everyone else is just I just really think that everybody should just play week 2.
And I would say everybody has to play week 3 because week 2 is going to be so many more teams that are not full.
But that's the season that we have. And if you look at the unofficial and the official roster list, there's so many people missing in the season, and a lot of the dates didn't work out. And it's expected on this block of the year because of the holidays and football season, all the travel and the competitions and whatnot. Which by the way, I want to stick in the little tidbit since NAS is sponsoring this show. I'm only missing week 2. I love this league too much. I'm the only guy missing. Everybody else is going to be in their teams, playing and thriving and providing. We're not doing a mass exodus for Weekend Warrior Worlds. I'm the only one that's missing this weekend. So, and the Raiders are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Al's going to be there. Marty's going to be there. Vic's going to be there. You know, they have Adrian Peter. That's good enough team to pull off a modest 2-1 without me, just because I have too much self-respect to say that they could go 3-0 without me, but I'm sure they're going to pull out the 3-0. I picked it.
Yeah, man. I just think week 3 is going to be the one that really defines it. And you have a couple of stragglers that are going to miss 3 and 4. And I mean, I would hope no one in the right mind is okay with missing week 5. But
there's one guy missing playoffs.
well, but I mean, at that point, it's irrelevant because you're going to pick somebody up, and because of the draft order. Granted, I'm not in DDPA, so I have no idea how they're doing.
Neither am I. And you know what? I'm glad I'm not in that this season. We're good.
Yeah. But you know, if you're really able to separate yourself in week 2, maybe week 3, you know, you might be able to get like an Ernie at a discount, you know, or somebody else that's missing that is missing out of nowhere. So I'm sure it'll happen. It always happens, but we'll see, man. I think week 3 is really when the season starts. As cliche as it may sound, you know, but we'll see. Week 2, it's surprising to hear, which is good for the league that Nas is not doing like you said a huge exit. But we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be other players that are missing as well, and we'll go from there.
All right. Now we've got into one of the fun parts of the show. Games of the week. First one, 8 a.m. Ravens, Chargers, and it's exactly what we were talking about. Johan and Adrian versus Vinny and his guys.
I just looked at that roster, and that Ravens roster, in my opinion, is very slow. You have Adrian, you have Lavaris, but that's about it. And the Chargers have pretty decent speed with Peter, Cucuyo, Vinny, Chris Campos, who's annoying but a dog. So
he's annoying when you're playing against him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even with at least for my taste, I'm like,
no. Listen to me. I know that my God loves me, because that tournament for me, I did not miss on a single guy. And Chris Campos was one of those guys that and another, who's another player randomly that gives me the Chris Campos vibes, that he plays above where everyone ranks him. And it's Marzullo. Marzullo is a Chris Campos type guy. You look at him, you make him run against someone else, you make him do this, you make him do that, and then they're just like, no, he's inferior. You put him in the game. That's the guy you want in the huddle. That's the guy you want on the play. And that's the guy that when you're in trouble, you're going to throw it to, because they're going to give you 110%. And that's what I love about Chris Campos.
Yeah.
And someone that is like Chris Campos is Peter Delgado. And that's why that team hums. Not officiating. That guy sucks horrific at officiating. Cost me stats. I had to pay money because I trusted him to do the right thing, and he did not get my stats right. But Peter's an amazing football player, just like Chris Campos, just like Cucuyo. It's top to bottom, dogs and tryhards. How much does Vinny have to do to let these animals loose?
Not much. Not much.
Chargers over Ravens.
I got Chargers as well. I'm gonna
I
say
got, I got 3 dogs against 1 dog.
I got 3-2 Chargers.
I got 3 dogs on the Chargers and I got 1 dog on the Ravens. So we're gonna go 3-1, 3-2 because I like Johan. 3-2 Chargers. It's not gonna be a 4-3. I like the game too.
What we got?
I like a game too. Chiefs Saints. Naughty Leva 5 hard.
No, Eddie Liver 5 hard.
I went Chiefs. There's like no way I bet against John.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I'm gonna say 4-3.
4-3. I still think that it's
I think Devin gets up for this game.
But it's just John being John. John's a better quarterback than Devin.
And just it's Lewis.
Curry is better than whoever the hell is going to be the number 1 on the other side. And I only say that because Georgie Del Valle called me sticky. You tried to insinuate that I was a liar and trying to cheat my way into some substitutions. I'm mad at you, guy. I'm mad at you. That's a no. I would never do that. No, it was like when Adrian didn't know and he walked off the wrong side of the sideline. So he wasn't on our side. He came back into the game. And then I'm like, no, you're already subbed. You stay in. I have to get out because he was like on the side. So he comes back into the, I get out. And then George's like, no, you were on. And he was off. And he took 2 subs. You're sticky. You're alive. I'm like, brother, come on. Like, let me talk to you. You know how Georgie gets. I know. I'm talking right now. You shut up. I thought he was going to strike me. I was in fear for my life.
George is not that guy.
No, I still love the guy. No, he has beautiful eyes. You look him dead in the eyes and you fall in love. I still got Chiefs though, 4-3.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree 4-3 Chiefs.
Saints, Chargers. Here, you know what? Chargers get. Do they?
I got the Saints in this one 4-2.
Vamos.
I like the bottom of that team. I like the bottom of the Saints more than I like the bottom of the Chargers. So I'm gonna go Saints 4-2.
Saints, Chargers. I'm going to tell you what I picked in my pick'ems is what I wanted to make sure, and I picked Saints.
I got Saints 4-2.
Yeah, and it's not a knock on the Chargers because I love the Chargers. I just feel that their loss is it's downloading. It's going to be.
You're going to lose. You're not going to go undefeated.
Okay. We're not in Dino times. The loss is downloading somewhere. I mean, the Saints are the team on your schedule that's going to give it to you. Seahawks, Lions.
Man, it's tough because
you rather see paint dry,
among other things. That Dallas.
Fitz, give the ball to Craigo, bro. Give it to him.
Is anyone missing there?
Or throw it to Dallas. I don't know, man.
Is anyone missing there? I don't even know what those teams look like.
Oh, I'll tell you who's missing. I'll tell you who's missing officially. That's all I got for you. Missing week 2 is Justin Johnson as Chargers, Dolan, and Eddie Leva. Those are the only official notables. Nobody else. Seahawks have the better team.
But do they? I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go Lions in a very, very ugly 2-1.
I'm gonna tell you right now exactly what I picked. Seahawks, Lions. I picked Lions.
I got Lions 2-1.
I got
very ugly game.
No, that's gonna be. I'd rather see paint dry on the wall. That's gonna be at Hernandez, and I hope he comes out with like the Karate Kid, like because he's gonna do it all. He's gonna have to do it all. 100%.
Lions 2-1.
Okay. All right.
I think we agreed on every single pick.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got to differ. We got to bring up the next segment so that we can make different predictions. Bold predictions. Where are we at? Give me something.
Bold predictions. Man, bold prediction. I'm gonna say, let me see. Let me check their schedule real quick. I don't know how bold exactly this might be. But given last week's performance, you're telling me AJ is going to be available?
AJ is available.
David's available.
David's available.
That guy behind you is available.
Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian's not going. Brian's not going to Worlds. He's playing.
All right, so I'm gonna say. Oh man, it's tough because
David 3-0. You're
I
gonna
mean,
say 3-0?
no, it wasn't the Dolphins. I wasn't
Oh,
going to say.
I'm like just saying like David, Brian.
I wasn't gonna say the Dolphins because the team that I was gonna say is getting a free dub because they're playing the
The
Eagles.
Eagles.
So I'm
It's
I'm
so
gonna
tough.
I'm gonna say the Washington football team, the Redskins, Commanders, whatever the hell they want to go by. I say they go 3-0, and yeah, they go 3-0.
I, they gotta play the Dolphins, bro. They gotta play the Dolphins, and they're gonna play. You know, Dario's gonna get charged up with all this trash. Like I was with them at the barbecue this weekend. The man was talking trash.
Who?
Dario,
No, I don't have. They don't. Do they play?
and then he plays the Redskins. 8:45.
I mean, bro, it's one game. I'm not really losing sleep over that. I'm taking Redskins 3-0 this week. Bold prediction.
All right. My bold prediction: Raiders gonna go 3-0 without me.
That's bold right there.
Raiders gonna go 3-0 without me. Al is gonna play out of his mind. We're gonna get crackhead Al.
That's bold right there. That's bold right there. What time do I play you guys? When do I play you guys? Do I play you early in the
Here
morning?
right now. No, 8:45 is the first game for the Raiders, which is against Stritz and the Seahawks. And then we play the Bengals at 10:15.
Oh, so you play us last.
And then we play you guys last at 11:45.
Nah. You guys, they're not beating us last. But hey, that's bold right there. I
Hey,
can guarantee
hey,
you guys
listen.
are not going
It's
3-0. You're
listen.
not beating.
I know Vic Peña, I know Marley, I know P, and I know my Cubanazo, and I know my crackhead.
That's fine. You're not beating me. Not 5 hard. No shot.
Wait,
But that's bold. That's bold.
wait.
5-0.
Do we make a wager?
Hey man, I'm telling you right now, you're not beating me. Last game of the week,
Yeah.
5 hard. You're not beating me.
Okay, so if the Raiders beat the Jets, what do I got to do? And then what do you got to do if the Raiders beat you? I think this is just only fair because like you're like trying to like cut me off of my bold prediction.
Man, I wouldn't. I don't know because I think both of our seasons are screwed either way. And
We got to do the next episode shirtless.
I'll do it shirtless. I'll do it.
A shirtless or the wife beater? I don't know, man. Something.
Nah. White beater's whack.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, we'll think of something. We'll think of something. And
We'll know
we'll let y'all know.
who the loser is. By the next DD Live, we'll know who the loser is because it's like, you know. But
that guy lost.
We'll agree to something. We'll agree to something, and we'll know who the loser is next time.
For sure. Let's do it.
Hey, you know what? I like that. Little, you know.
Hey, more views, baby. More views. You gotta tune in to see what it is.
Hey, you know, do we need more? Because like we're the most watched show. Like even though we're second best every season, we're the most shows. We're the best watched. Let's stop it. Let's call a spade. Like I don't care about the the mainstream media. I care about the cold hard facts. As long as I know I'm the best, I can go to sleep knowing I'm the best. Like, good. Hey, listen. I hope you guys ball out. I'm gonna try to ball out. I'm gonna take the NAS A team because how they're not allowed to play in DD. They're too amazing. I'm gonna go take them and go win some world championships. I'll come back week 3 to a winning Raiders team, and I'll just reclaim my 30-40 point fantasy weeks if referees don't mess it up, and do my thing.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, this is for you guys. Show it to the fam. Show it to everyone. Not the parts where we talk trash about you, only like the 2 or 3 people. Outside of that, we love you guys. Thanks for watching. We love you. Peace.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! He's trying me! How you trying me? That's a touchdown. Ooh!